Welcome to The Explainer. If you think a sauna is just that slightly uncomfortable hot wooden box at your local gym where you awkwardly sit in a towel, well, your paradigm is about to completely shift. Today, we're bridging a 2,000-year-old ancient culture with cutting-edge wellness tech to explore what's quickly becoming the ultimate biological and, surprisingly, B2B business tool. Let's get right into it.
But to really understand the tech we're exploring today, we absolutely have to ground ourselves in the culture first. I was honestly blown away by this quote from sauna expert Seppo H. Metsälä. Think about this. In Finland, a country of just 5.5 million people, there are over 3.2 million saunas. That is literally one sauna for every 1.6 people. It acts as a true societal equalizer. The CEO and the janitor can sit side by side, sharing the exact same space, completely stripping away all status.
Okay, let's look at our roadmap for today. We're covering 1. The ancient sauna tradition. 2. The modern wellness dilemma. 3. The hybrid sauna solution. 4. The science of sweat. And finally, 5. The corporate wellness boom. We are going to explore everything from microcellular biological benefits all the way up to macro corporate return on investment.
Kicking things off with Section 1, the ancient sauna tradition. We really need to grasp the deep cultural significance here and understand how technology has actually served this tradition for millennia. So let's rapidly trace this evolution. Going back 2,000 years ago, the very first saunas were literally just hot stones in dirt pits. Pretty basic, right? Moving to the 19th century, we saw the deeply revered smoke sauna, which took an entire day to heat up. Then we get a huge leap in the 1950s. The electric kiosk completely revolutionized urban access, bringing saunas straight into city apartments. By the 1970s, infrared technology popped up globally, which perfectly sets the stage for today's massive innovation, the hybrid sauna.
And I really want to emphasize something here. This is not just some fleeting flavor of the month wellness trend like your favorite influencer's new diet. No. In November 2020, UNESCO officially recognized this culture as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. This is a millennium-old living human institution, utterly essential for well-being and generational connection.
Which brings us to Section 2, the modern wellness dilemma. Because as sauna culture exploded globally over the last 30 years, it actually created a massive conflict, and quite honestly, a false choice for the modern consumer. Just look at the divide we've created here. On one side, you've got the traditional sauna. It's visceral, it's soul-soothing, high ambient heat with that magical loilu, the steam created by throwing water on hot stones. It essentially cooks you from the outside in. Then on the other side, we have the modern infrared sauna, which is hugely favored by biohackers. We're talking lower heat, incredibly dry air, but it provides this targeted, inside-out radiant heat that deeply penetrates cellular tissue for rapid recovery. For decades, you essentially had to pick your team.
But what if you didn't have to choose? Let's dive into Section 3, the hybrid sauna solution. We're looking at this not just as a new product, but as an inevitable paradigm shift that completely synthesizes both of those extremes into a single experience. Looking at this setup really makes it click. You are literally getting 3 saunas in one space. With just the turn of a dial, Mode 1 gives you the traditional Finnish stove. Mode 2 switches over to pure infrared deep tissue therapy. And Mode 3? Well, that's the magic. That's a true simultaneous hybrid mode where both operate flawlessly in the exact same session. It is the ultimate synergy.
And what's really fascinating here is how beautifully discreet the whole setup is. Notice how these 900-watt, highly efficient Finnish Duetto infrared panels are quietly mounted right behind the custom wood backrests. You get to keep that beautifully authentic, relaxing wooden sauna aesthetic without feeling like you're sitting inside some weird sci-fi medical device.
Now, actually pulling this off requires some serious engineering. Think about it. Water and electronics usually don't mix, right? But thanks to FIMCO-tested IP65 splash-proof technology, you are completely safe to throw water on the traditional hot stones right in the center of the room. You get to enjoy that wonderfully humid, hissing, loyally steam while the infrared electronics operate flawlessly in the background. It is a genuine simultaneous synthesis.
Moving right along to Section 4, the science of sweat. Now that we've covered the sensory experience of the crackling fire and hissing stones, let's look at the hard, undeniable biological data of what this heat exposure actually does to your body. Okay, the absolutely crucial point here is this staggering 40% data point. Landmark studies from the University of Eastern Finland revealed that men using saunas 4 to 7 times a week saw a massive 40% lower risk of all-cause mortality compared to those who only went once a week. I mean, wow.
The dose-response relationship is crystal clear. Frequent heat exposure equals dramatically better long-term health. Definitely think about that the next time you debate skipping a recovery day.
And the hybrid mechanism actually amplifies those benefits through what is basically a biological 1-2 punch. First up, the high ambient heat from the traditional stove mimics moderate cardiovascular exercise, getting your blood pumping, releasing endorphins, and dropping cortisol levels. Simultaneously, that infrared light is penetrating up to 5 centimeters deep into your tissues. That is clearing lactic acid and activating heat shock proteins for some really serious cellular repair.
All right, finally, Section 5, the corporate wellness boom. If the biology of the body is compelling, and it definitely is, we must now zoom out to the biology of a business. Because this technology is creating a really hard-hitting financial argument.
Look at how modern wellness culture and biohacking are driving this explosive global phenomenon. We're seeing a complete reframing of the market right now. The sauna is moving away from being just a basic operational expense hidden in the corner of a gym locker room, and it's transforming into a dedicated, highly sought-after corporate wellness ecosystem.
The sheer scale of this projection is honestly wild. By 2032, the global infrared market is projected to hit $3.58 billion. That's billion, with a B. We are seeing massive state and consumer investments pouring into energy-efficient recovery technology, simply because the market finally understands the financial value of preventative health and rapid recovery. And it's brilliant how this manifests locally. Forward-thinking gyms are building an entirely new B2B business model. They're actually leasing out their hybrid saunas to local corporate employers as dedicated team wellness programs. For around €500 a month per company, gyms generate this great recurring revenue, while employers invest directly in their team's productivity, stress management, and employee retention.
Just look at the math here. It is totally undeniable. If a 10-person corporate team uses the hybrid sauna and their better sleep and cognitive function yield a mere 1% gain in productivity, that translates to about €5,000 in added value per year. That almost completely offsets the €6,000 annual cost. Now, what if they see a 5% gain? That is €25,000 in added value. It literally turns the sauna from a luxury perk into a high-return, measurable business asset.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a provocative thought. If the ultimate recovery tool requires both the ancient spiritual wisdom of enveloping steam and the cutting-edge science of deep penetrating infrared light, is your current wellness routine telling you the whole story? It is time to stop forcing ourselves to choose between tradition and technology. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this completely changes how you view your next sweat session.